This second DeskProto picture frame video will show you how to machine a picture frame from two sides, the front side and the back side.
Here's my piece of red cedar wood that I have, 2 centimeters thick, about 19 centimeters wide, so I can position my frame about here. When I now cut the wood here, I have 2 pieces of wood at the right and the left to clamp on my machine, and I need to make support blocks here to keep the frame connected to those 2 pieces of wood during machining.
In this second picture frame tutorial, we will again be using one of the DeskProto wizards, and this time obviously we'll want to use the two-sided wizard. So start wizard, 2 sides manual flip, next one, and the first thing to do is browse to our geometry. It's one of the DeskProto samples, and I want to load the picture frame. For me it will be the millimeters version. Scaling and orienting is not needed, so next screen of the wizard. Here is my material block, and the most important thing I need to do here is change the default support bridges to custom bridges. The default bridges are on 4 sides, and I want to only use support blocks on the left side and on the right side, as you will see. Detail settings, I have noted some dimensions, so when I make them from 65 to 75, from 80 to 70, and from 1 to 7, this is a perfect block, and I want to do that 4 times, so bear with me for a second. The right bridge, again 65 to 75, 80 and 71 and 7. That's the second one, and for the other ones I need to do a bit more work, as it needs to be moved to a completely different location. I do the rough moving with the mouse and the fine-tuning with the keyboard. That way I'm sure that they are all identical. Again 70 to 80, and here 1 to 7. That was the third one, and the final one needs to be moved here, here and here, and then we can again enter the exact values. So almost finished now, thanks for your patience. And 1 to 7, yes, okay. Those are my 4 support blocks, you can see them right here. My block of material is 20 millimeters thick, and when I make that larger I obviously also will have to change the milling depth. DeskProto tells me so. So that's all for this page. Next page, it's the roughing operation. Just as in the previous wizard, we have the roughing, the finishing and the contour only. I want to do the roughing with a 6mm ball nose cutter. I do not want to use the block strategy, as then a chunk of wood will remain in the center at some point, so I will use parallel. The skin can be a bit less, 0.3 millimeter, and 12 is too much, so it should remove 6 millimeters of material in one go at this toolpath distance. That's my roughing. For the finishing, I want to use a smaller bullnose cutter because there are many details in the flowery thing here, so I need a small cutter to set that. The rest is correct. And for the finishing, the smoothing contour all around, it has used the same 3mm bullnose, and that's also correct. So in fact I'm set now. I won't write a report file here because I want to change some settings afterwards, do some fine-tuning, so it won't be correct. Also, calculating the toolpath is not yet needed, so I will finish the cutter. Here is the result. The orange lines are the block of material, and the green line is the area to be machined, with the 2 support blocks on the right and 2 on the left. So this is the project that the wizard has created for us. We see the project tree, 2 parts, side 1 and side 2, and in each part we see 3 operations, and on all 8 levels we want to do some changes. First of all is on part level, we want to change the block size. As said, the wizard added geometry at the front and the back, and our slab of wood is too small, so I want to make it smaller. It's only 190 millimeters. So in part 1 I go to the segment tab, which is the block size, and I change the Y dimensions from -95 to +95, which is exactly the 190 millimeters block size that I have. You see what happens here. Okay, that's the part level. For the roughing I need to do some more changes, and to show you why, I will calculate the toolpath as they are now. Only the roughing operation, yes, that's okay. You see the front and the back of the picture frame are not machined, and the wizard has made those settings because it expected the support block to be present here, and then the outside of the geometry may not be machined, like you can see here, but now the support blocks are only on the left and the right, so the border settings on the front and the back need to be different. I go to roughing, border settings, I make them custom, not uniform, because X is okay, but Y needs to be changed, and I make them positive, and I use positive values of 3.5 for X and Y, for Y min and Y max, and you can see now the front and the back are nicely machined. That's the borders. I also want to make one more change, which is a segment. When I see the front side here, the toolpath go very low, and on my machining table there's a ruler. I want to protect that, so the minimum Z value for the roughing operation may be a bit less. So when I go 14 millimeters down, that is sufficient, and then my ruler will be protected. Okay. That's the roughing operation. For finishing, I only want to change the border, the same change as I just mentioned. I want to remove the minus sign for the min and max Y values, and the same for contour only. Custom, not uniform. Minus is gone, and when I now calculate all toolpath, no, all toolpath, yes. That takes some more time, yes. I see here the toolpath for the finishing, and these are the toolpath for this smoothing contour, which will remove any staircase effects that will have been left by the finishing operation. Okay, that's part 1. Continue to side 2. Same change that I need to make in the segment. For the block size, 95, and here again 95, the total of 190. For the roughing, I have the same 2 changes, borders. As a plus value, it's a bit more than 3, because here I have this skin extra, so I want to have some extra room over there, and also I shouldn't have closed it. Also the segment, it needs not go as deep. This one I wanted to do, so -9 is more than enough for the back side. So okay, let's see what happens. Here are the roughing toolpath, which are okay. Yes, and for the final 2 operations I need to change more, because, well, as you can see, the back side only has flat horizontal surfaces, not so many small details. So for this type of geometry I can best use a flat cutter instead of the bull nose one used for the front. So I go to a flat cutter, also this one 3 millimeter diameter. The precision needs not to be very accurate, it only needs to be made flat. And here I want to use the block strategy. That way the inside area can be skipped later on. What do I need to change more? The minimum Z value is -9 is okay as well. The same change for the borders. Only now 0 is sufficient because the outside doesn't need to be machined, and I want to skip also the enclosed ambient. So let's see what happens for the finishing. Here are my finishing toolpath. The inside area is skipped and all flat surfaces are nicely machined. The contour only is in fact not needed, as this outer contour has been machined when we did the front side, but I want to add some toolpaths here around this area. This is the area of 10 by 15 centimeters where my photo needs to be, and obviously the photo needs to be fit exactly in this frame, so I want to use a waterline, add a waterline toolpath there. So I will call this one finishing waterline. Yes, I again want to use this flat cutter of 3mm diameter. I want to use water lines, and well, 3mm distance in Z will be sufficient. And when I make my complete area to be machined in the subsegment, when I make that 6mm from -2.5 to -8.5, then we should see that as a result nicely 2 waterline toolpaths will be machined. But first, before I calculate them, I need to make a few more changes. This area here, we do not need any toolpath there, so I want to limit the area to be machined. That's okay. For borders, do we need to change the borders? No, but here I need to change. I want to skip the horizontal ambient area. And now I should be all set for calculating this toolpath. Yes, only this one. And I can see here 2 nice toolpaths for the inside area where the photo will be. Okay, we're all set. We have calculated all toolpaths for the front side and for the back side. And the final step that we need to do is saving these toolpath files. For both sides, 2 different cutters are used. A bullnose mm6 for the roughing, and here a bullnose for the finishing and the contour only, and on side 2 a flat cutter. But anyway, 2 different cutters. So when I save the toolpath files, in this case for side 1, and I call them frame side 1, then we'll see that DeskProto automatically will make 2 different toolpath files, one for each cutter, as, let me show that to you, as my machine doesn't have an automatic tool changer. So a small file for the roughing and a large file for the finishing. And we will do the same for side 2, only we'll call that obviously frame side 2. Frame side 2. Yes, so that's incorrect. Save, and we are all set and can continue to the milling machine.
is the resulting picture frame, as you can see, machined from two sides. So I bought a cheap picture frame in order to use the glass, the cardboard back, and these four strips. So I removed them all, and I put the strips in the new picture frame just by pushing by hand. Enter the glass, enter a nice picture, enter the cardboard frame, adjust the strips, and here we are, again, a great picture frame with a beautiful young lady.